Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to go ahead and start putting together the assembly of our automaton box. You can see here I've got a box that has the cams rotating around on the camshaft, and you can see the motion of the followers follows the shape of the cam. So I'm going to show you how these were created and why this works. So the first thing we need to do is go into an assembly. We're going to insert parts. So you're going to come on over to your pop-out window here, and we're going to open up the picture that has your fully assembled box. We're going to grab it quickly and leave that caret closed and click the entire box assembly. Do not touch anything else, just hit the green check, and then zoom out, select everything, right click, and fix. What that's going to do for you is take all the parts that you created and lock them in position together as you originally created them. If you don't do that, if you don't fix those parts, when you go ahead and when you place them, they will be able to move around separately. So sometimes you want to be able to move things around separately, and sometimes you don't. But right now, we're going with don't. So let's just take those, select them all, right click, and choose Fix. This is now a singular, unmoving part, and locked at the origin of the workspace. Next thing we're going to do is go ahead and insert our assemblies. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the entire parametric cam assembly. That gets me all my parts that I want. And that saves steps. Now these are all free to move around, and that's okay because we're going to be moving each of these individually. First thing I want to do is put this camshaft in the box. To do that, we're going to use what's called a Revolute Mate, which means that this part is going to get inserted in that hole, and it's going to be able to revolve. So I'm going to find a little Pac-Man here on the end that is at the center of the shaft. So there it is. And I'm going to come to the hole in the box and find the corresponding Pac-Man. Those are called mate connectors. That looks like the original. If I did it right, you can see that it's pretty much centered. It should be exactly centered. And when I look at it from the front, it's lined up with the side of the box. So if I want to make that so that it sticks out a little bit, we're going to choose the offset button, and we can actually just push-pull that offset, I believe. Can we? No, it's not letting me out push-pull. So I can choose the offset button, and we're going to offset the Z-axis by distance and about a 1/4 inch. If it goes in the opposite direction of what you were planning, what you expected to do, so let's say right now it just went right, and if I wanted it to go left, I just hit the negative symbol in front. I'll move the other way. But 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch looks pretty good in my case. We're going to accept that. We're going to give it a name. That's my camshaft. That's my first revolution. And that is now inserted in the center. And if I go to rotate it, you can see that it is fixed so that it spins, but it will not move left-right. So that's a Revolute Mate. Next thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to apply a Fastened Mate. We'll take one of our cams, and we'll find, again, that center symbol. Let's grab the one on the end here. So here's the upper left corner of my cam, of the hole in my cam. Pay close attention to the order of the indicators on the mate connectors. So there's a red, a green, and a blue indicator. See which direction they're moving. So green is up, red is right, kind of back and to the right, and blue is kind of down to the right. So I'm going to click that one, and then we'll come over here. We'll find a corresponding connector on a corner, which might be a little tricky. There you go. Alright, so that put it on the end of the cam. So I don't want it on the end of the cam, I want that to move left, so we're going to offset that in the Z direction. And I believe we're going to go about -2. Let's go further left. Negative. We can come back and change this later, so we'll say -3. -4. There you go. What I'm trying to do is get these to line up with the holes in the box. And we'll call that hexagon cam. Agree, check that. Now let's go ahead and add a cam follower. So insert, we're going to get a connecting rod. Just made rules. I don't want both connecting rods, I want just one connecting rod. So we'll do just one connecting rod. Ooh, too many connecting rods, hit the escape key. Try that again. Insert, one connecting rod. Again, one connecting rod, and then we'll just place that here and save that. And we're going to put the connecting rod inside that hole. This time we're going to create what's called a slider mate. The slider mate will allow this part to go inside the hole and move only up and down. So I'm going to find that mate connector there. This is pretty easy. Find the center mate connector. That looks pretty good. And now you can see that this can move up and down, but not left to right. So that's a good slider mate. Now in order to get an animation here, I need to make a tangent mate. So I want the tip of this point of this connecting rod to touch tangent to that surface. So there's my tangent mate. Take the point there, that surface, and now if I did this correctly, when I rotate this, this should follow. Now if I go back to my first mate, my camshaft mate, my Revolute, I'm going to hit the animate button and change the playback to loop, hit play, and sure enough, you can see that we're getting that to animate, and it's doing exactly what we want it to. Repeat that process as many times as it takes to get all of your cams and motions in place, and you'll have an automa. Automa. That's a funny word. I have a hard time saying that one. Alright. Well, as always, keep being curious, keep being you, and keep being awesome.